Hi, welcome Fierce Bear parents. We're so excited to have your student on our team this year. We want to take a few minutes and go over some things to help your child have a successful year on our team, since we can't meet in person. This year, one thing to point out is your child will be on a sliding schedule, which is pretty cool for the students. Each 9 weeks, they'll get a new schedule. They'll have a different connection time, so their blocks will be at different times throughout the day. While they're on our team, if you need to contact us, you can call the office or email the 3 of us, and we will get back to you that day. If you need to schedule a conference, feel free to call or email, and we can make that happen during our planning time. And the planning time, again, will change every 9 weeks. On our team, we continue with a stat card similar to what they had in 6th grade. They have 5 opportunities or chances to get strikes for breaking various rules like no homework and minor infractions. On the back, when they do break a rule, we will write the date, write the misbehavior, initial it, and we ask if you'll sign this. On the second mark, our team, one of us 3 ladies, will call you and talk with you about what's going on with your child. This is kept in their agenda in the back pocket, so at any time you should be able to ask your child for their stat card, and they should be able to pull that out and let you look at it. Moving into science, unique to our team is the 3 of us rotate the students between us each unit. So your child will have one of us for science throughout the year, different times with different units. All 3 of us use a journal. So your child has one science journal. In the journal, you have tabs for each unit. So there'll be a tab, and then behind the tab are their standards, their notes, important vocabulary terms. And the main thing with science is we ask if you'll study with your child 15 to 20 minutes a day. That'll help them be successful in science by learning those vocabulary terms, learning those key ideas in their notes. Just like with any class, we have quizzes and unit tests throughout the year as we cover each of these units. And on our Science Google Classroom, we put in quizzes that can help them study. We put in resources, vocabulary. Every child has access to the Science Google Classroom. Now, while we're talking about Google Classroom, I also teach ELA for the team. And on my Google Classroom, I have a daily classwork. If they miss that day, they can log into Google Classroom and they'll have access to our notes. They'll have access to any resources that we'll be using that day in class, and it'll allow them not to get behind. So that's one nice thing about Google Classroom. On Google Classroom as well are some of their cold reads. A cold read is a reading story that we read on Fridays, and there's 10 comprehension questions. Half of them are on the computer, so that's under that cold read, and then half of them are on paper on Fridays, and we trade back and forth on that. There is sentence practice, figurative language, signpost, anything they need extra practice on is available on their Google Classroom. In my class, my hour instruction is divided up really with 3 topics: reading, grammar, and writing. This is reflective in their journal. So if you look at their tabs, they have a reading tab, and behind that tab are resources, notes that they would use in class. Grammar has resources as well that they should be studying and going over, as well as all the practice that we do. So each day your child spends 10 to 15 minutes practicing grammar. And then the rest of the time we split between reading and writing.
Hey Fierce Bears, my name is Lauren Hires and I teach math along with Miss Clements on the Fierce Bears team. This is our Google Classroom. Every day we upload what we'll be doing in class, and you can tell with the hybrid schedule it was a lot. But if you'll click on the links, so parents, while students are absent, you can always keep up with what's going on. Click on view materials for whatever day it is, and we have everything that the students will be doing in class is listed, our agenda that we do every day, along with the worksheets and any other links such as iExcel, because we use iExcel and USA Test Prep a lot as a review to practice these things. We every day is a warm-up. We do notes. I can upload videos to this platform, and the students are to complete their assignments through this. I'm always here if they ever need anything, and we have our common assessments after each unit, and again, this is all sent out through Google Classroom, but I also send a week at a glance through Living Tree, and that lets you know what we're doing each day in class. So if you'll just keep up with that, then you'll know, you and your students will both know what's to come in the following weeks. If you ever need me, you can always email me or call the school to get hold of me.
Hello, I'm Pam Huff, and I teach social studies for the Fierce Bears. I tell the students there are two things that they have to know to be successful in social studies in 7th grade. One is to know the maps, and the other is the vocabulary. If you know those two things, you're going to be very successful in social studies. The number one resource for our class is going to be their journal. The journal is going to have, at each tab, they will have the next unit. At the end of each unit, there'll be a study guide, and all of the resources that they need to be successful are going to be right here in this journal. So whether you have access to the computer or not, everything that they need is going to be right here. If they would look at their journal for 15 to 20 minutes per night, they will be more than ahead of the game when they come to class for any quizzes or tests. Also, for technology, I do integrate technology, but predominantly it's just for practice, the vocabulary. Their Google Classroom, and go to their Google Classroom, and they could pull up the assignments that are in there. And at the end of each unit, we would have a unit test, which obviously would carry a little bit more weight than the daily grades or the quizzes. I guess that's all for social studies, and look forward to teaching your child.